Double Diamond Railroad back with a quick video update of what's going on for 2 days, projects, wiring, all kinds of stuff. So we got our block detector in yesterday, and here it is down here. He's hanging right there. So he wouldn't work because I had double feeders on the track. So I had to go in here this morning and clip a feeder on that side across from the red. And all the way back here, you can see it, there's another one down there, had to clip. So then I ran a new feeder right here. And it took 4 times to get it soldered. It wouldn't bond. Finally had to cut the old one off. It was too low voltage. Cut it off, went in there, scrubbed with alcohol in a file, and got it to where it contacted. I got 3 solid green lights, or green, yellow, red lights on my meter I check track with. So then we got the block detector working. The signal is working. However, as I posted on the community page, the red light in this one is half bright. It's got a defect. I narrowed it down, it's the signal. Now it could be the UTP cable that goes from there down under, but my bet is on the signal. Everything's so tiny. We worked and worked, swapped boards, all kinds of stuff. It's still dim red. So I ordered another one, signal only, which is a signal and that cable to that point. I'll swap it out. Then I'm going to cut this one off and put it right there facing that direction. For traffic coming from the other way, it's just going to be a phony signal. Be right across from the other one. Because you'll never see it on camera anyway. Even if I'd have to come clear back here. You never get to see the light. You might see the green. So it doesn't matter. So here's what we were doing the other day on the weekend. Let me take you over there. I was running trains, checking the intermodal just for continuity and derailments. And the train head got up to the service shop and stopped. I'm sitting there spinning its wheels. I come back here, and here the last car, the intermodal, was caught on the rock wall. Looks like it was caught right there on that point, or right back here. And when it cut loose, it flipped the whole train in the middle, right up here. Which fortunately I was able to roll it back upright. So I had to go, I never noticed before, but on a long car, I bet you the Amtrak's doing it. Or anything long. Like 89-footer, 70-footer. Catching there, so I had to carve this off. I'm going to do some more. Cut off with a steak knife. That's where I put, you see the streaks in that. That was flex paste, which I didn't like. So it had some nubs sticking out. It clears now, but it's really close, within an 1/8 inch here or something. I'm going to cut it back more, then paint over it. So that was the first thing we found. So cars that were derailing later on were already derailed back here, and I didn't know it. So when I got up to the crossing behind the engine house, they're already derailed, hitting that. And I'm thinking, okay, it's a bad switch and all that stuff, which it was too. But so that's the first thing we found on derailing. Once I fixed this down here, it was real good through there. I could back through there 20 miles an hour. I could go forward 20 miles an hour. Now we'll go somewhere else where we found trouble, right behind me. I was able to run through my switch now up to 40 miles an hour. I came through there. And I could back through it about 20 safely. Cannot run the UP in the middle. This train is too sensitive. And the pressure, even though I weighted the cars, those 3 cars there, Pacer stack train, I got weights in them now. They weigh 1.48 ounce, which is 0.8 over what they need to be. And they still jumped off. If I put the engine between right there or back there, Too much pressure. Well, I found out this guy, the UP, he was running 6 miles an hour faster than the leads. He must have finally got broke in. So I had to take him off speed matching. Tried again, still wrecks him. Too much pressure. And now these are running a hair fast. I gotta fix them. The only place he'll run is here or in the middle. If he's in the middle, which looks good. They have coupler incompatibilities and it comes loose. The lead engine runs away. First I started to put him on a point. Looked great, but then I lose flashing lights with the horn because they don't run that. So I put him back here. And on most intermodals, there is no pusher at the end unless a double train has 2 engines in the middle. They might have one if they're loaded heavy out west. Not on this short of a train. Doesn't need it. So I have to end up having a head power all the way up to the front. Now I did put him on. We're going to try running that way now. That's the dummy. Just for looks. So that brings into the next issue we found. Let me get my shadow out of it. Here the SD70s at least, when I backed up they were wrecking here on this switch. That's a new switch. We had that trouble before. Well, I found out that the track under the Tiger thing was a little bit lower, like an 1/8 inch lower than this coming off the old switch spur. Right here is higher up. And that was making the plow and these well car bottoms were hitting the rail on this side, lifting the car up and making it derail on the frog. So we had to go in and shim under there to raise that. Put 2 shims on there, it seemed to have stopped it now. The plows are clearing. That was another thing we didn't, just surprise us by running around trying to check for derails. So we sold that, it looks like. I may have to put 1 more shim right there, we'll see. Got to give it more runs. So that's where we're at, a state of going nowhere with the signal working until Friday. It says I got one from Iron Planet because I couldn't find one at Yankee Dabbler. Just a signal by itself. He only had starter kits. So it says it'll be here Friday. I had to pry this up and literally you see what came off. Even cork come off. Super glue. I didn't have debonder, which I just remembered to order. That'll be here Friday too. Have to cut this off, clean it up so I can use it again as a dead signal. And use that piece, or I may have to put a new one in to make that all support the signal and stand it upright. So that's where we're at. We're not going to do any more. Not going to run or any. I could run maybe. We'll see about it tomorrow. Done enough today. Lots of work. Oh, come over here. I'll show you what I had to do. And I was all upset last night because I couldn't find it. I had to put a new selector in. Trying to run off a number 4 with this multiple taps would not work like the other one. You got to have 1 feed going through there, or you take all feeds and run it through the donut on a detector. So I thought, I got a selector. I finally found it after an hour, right in front of my face in a box. So I wired this up today. That was a trick for me, one-handed. Got it wired up, and then I get in here. I couldn't drill through. There's a board right there, 1x4 behind that number 5. So I had to come over here and drill there. Fish the wire through it, got it all rigged up, soldered at the other end. Then I looked down and saw that I didn't run the wire through the donut on the detector. Boy, oh boy. I thought, you dope. So I had to cut this end off, pull it back through, all the way back down to where the detector was hanging. Feed back through it, bring it back up here. There's a board here too behind there. Back behind there, so I'd go through double boards, through a big hole in there. fish it back through this teeny little hole, put another new forked end on, crimp it, and we got it all tied down. And that works. Now that like I said, now that I got a good solder on the track, really high power over there, so that's good. And the block detector worked immediately as soon as I did that. So that's good news. We got some casualty of war right here when I was working. I got to get this shimmed. I see the track is leaning right at that switch. It's where it starts to lean out. And I want it to lean in. This car is leaning in straight up. Those look pretty good. That looks pretty good. But those two right there, the track is leaning out. Gotta tilt that in with shim styrene. That's why they fall off. Get my little level on there. I'll do it after all this other stuff. And I found my tangent axles. Metal wheels. I can use them. I got my Firefly. Going to put on the last. Oh, here's our new people. I showed in a post. I have to glue them down. I'm going to have a standing line for Bob's Hot Dogs. That's the second shift crew coming in. Then I got this family, fishing family. The kid up there and the mom in the middle and the dad down front carrying gear, coming down the path that I'm going to make. And they got their own boat dock. The dog's out there, some gear. There's our boat, little motorboat with oars, which will be awful hard to navigate in all those stones. They'll go up to the head end, work their way up here to this pool. They can fish up in there. There are little eddies they can follow down through. Work their way down through here along the side. Come down through here, stay over. Work down to there, and it gets a little easier down through here till they get to the big clearings of water. Maneuver around. It's tough. It'll be tough. But they're micro people. They'll fit in there somehow. Okay, we'll wrap it up here. Take care. God bless. Have a great week. Coming up, what's left of it, which is a lot of week left, coming up on Hump Day. Take care. Double Diamond Railroad out.